Hello children, welcome back once again. In last class we have discussed about bonding in carbon and importance of organic chemistry in our day-to-day life. Today let us discuss some more interesting topics like occurrence of carbon, allotropic forms of carbon and versatile nature of carbon. First of all, let us say occurrence of carbon. In occurrence of carbon means where and where carbon exists. Children, you must know carbon exists almost in every substances. All living substances contains carbon. Our body is made up of carbon containing compounds. The substances which we eat like carbohydrates, sugars, all those substances contains carbon in the combined form. So one way carbon exists is in the combined form. In combined forms, it exists as compounds. Like we know, sugar. Sugar is C12H22O11. Okay, this is our sucrose. And in C6H12O6, this is our glucose. Okay, energy production we have studied. Main important substance we required is glucose. Whatever we eat, it converts to glucose. Then glucose reacts with oxygen to produce energy that we studied in biology. Correct? Now, in compound form, apart from this, we know there are carbon dioxide, then carbon monoxide. It is there. Okay, these are the different forms where carbon exists in the compound form. Next, we shall see the free state. That is, second case we look at is the free state. In free state, carbon exists as in the form of diamond, then graphite, and we have also fullerenes or carbon C60, that is Buckminster's fullerenes. So this free state, it exists as we can say it exists in the form of an element. When a substance exists in the elemental form in various forms, or we can say various physical forms in which an element exists, various physical forms in which an element exists are called allotropes. So we are introducing another term, allotropes. Children, you must know what are allotropes. Allotropes means various physical forms in which an element exists are called allotropes. Okay, you must know diamond. Diamond is a very lustrous substance. You know, you have studied diamond, and graphite is actually a lubricant only. And graphite is also found in the pencil leads and fullerenes. Fullerenes is a carbon 60, it looks like a football only. So this topic let us study in detail. That is our allotropic form of carbon. Allotropes of carbon. Children, carbon exists in mainly two different types of allotropic forms. One is its crystalline form, and another one is its amorphous form. Now see, crystalline and amorphous means, crystalline means there is a specific geometry for a substance, and in amorphous means there is no particular shape, there is no any geometry for the substance. That's why it is called amorphous. In a crystalline we have three types, that is graphite, then diamond, and fullerene. So these are the three forms of crystalline forms of, these are the three crystalline forms of allotropic forms of carbon, that is graphite, diamond, and fullerenes. In the amorphous, there are different types like coal, charcoal, lamp black, last one is soot. Children, you know what is this soot? Soot is actually the when you burn a candle. Children, you know candle when you burn and you keep a paper above this. Okay, then what happens? You will find a blackish colored substance just get accumulated on the middle of the paper. Okay, that substance is actually the soot. Now, in our chapter, we need to learn about these crystalline forms of carbon, that is graphite, diamond, and fullerenes. Crystalline means they have a definite geometry, and amorphous means the amorphous substances are powdery substances. Powdery substances means they do not have any particular shape. Even though they are solid, they do not have a proper shape. That's why they are called amorphous substances. Let us look into the crystalline allotropic forms of carbon. Once again, the element carbon exists in different forms in nature with widely varying physical properties. The diamond and graphite are formed by carbon atoms. The difference lies in the manner in which carbon atoms are bonded to one another. In diamond, each carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms, forming a rigid 3-dimensional structure. And in graphite, each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms in the same plane, giving a hexagonal array. In graphite, one of this is a double bond so that valency is satisfied. Graphite is formed by the hexagonal rings arranged one above the other. The two different structures resulting have two different chemical properties, even though the chemical properties of diamond and graphite are same. Diamond is the hardest substance, graphite is smooth and slippery. Graphite also a good conductor of electricity unlike other non-metals. Diamond can be synthesized by subjecting pure carbon to high temperature and pressures. Next, let us see fullerenes. Fullerenes are another allotropic forms of carbon. C60 has carbon atoms arranged in shape of a football. Since it looks like a geodesic dome designed by US architect Buckminster Fuller, the molecule is named as fullerenes. Now let's move on to the versatile nature of carbon. Versatile nature of carbon. Why carbon is actually found to exist in this many different forms? This is mainly because of this versatile nature. That is, first one is due to the property of catenation, and second one is due to the property of tetravalency. Children, you know, carbon has got an electronic configuration of 2,4. Its atomic number is 6. Correct? Now, these 4 electrons, as we studied in the last class also, these 4 electrons in the valence shell means the carbon need 4 more electrons to complete its octet. Correct? So, carbon needs to get 4 more electrons to attain its octet configuration, so that it will also have a stability, or we can say it attains the noble gas configuration. For that only it shares the electrons around it. Like in case of hydrocarbons, we have discussed in the last class, they share one pair of electron between these atoms. So monovalent compounds they share the electrons and they produce different varieties of species of molecules. Okay, so that is actually due to the tetravalency. And catenation means catenation is the ability to form long chains. Catenation is actually the property of carbon to form a long chains of compounds. Like carbon itself, carbon combines with the other carbon as well as with other substances like this. See, the one of the carbon electron will combine with another carbon electron, and they will keep on continuing the chain like this. So they form long chains. Even they can branch if it is actually the carbon which can combine with another carbon, this form also. In graphite and all, you see carbon is actually interlinked to each other in a particular form. They form network like structures. So this is actually keep on continuing, where they can produce a large number of compounds or chains of species. That is what we discuss in the catenation property. Catenation is actually the ability to form long chains and branches. Okay, another one what we have discussed is the tetravalency. Tetravalency means carbon has got a valency of 4, in which carbon combines with other monovalent species. Okay, now one more important property you have to remember is actually carbon has got a small size. Okay, due to the small size, carbon can accommodate or carbon can hold the other elements around it. So the versatile nature of carbon is due to its catenation property as well as its tetravalency. Okay, so today we have discussed about mainly allotropic forms of carbon and versatile nature of carbon. Okay children, I hope you understood. We will continue our discussion in the next module. Okay children, thank you.